The current snow level could get up to 200 inches today. When we come back, we'll talk with ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan. A new survey says nearly half of all New Year's resolutions are broken within the first month. And my question to you is the number of people who make New Year's resolutions up or down? Right now, let's take a look at the drive from the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center. We make it easy. We've got a crash in Glendora on the 210.
What's on site at Grand? It's still the carpool and 3 left lanes that are shut down. Not much change here. Going to be heavy for you now from before the 57 on the northbound side of the 57 itself. Rough ride for you from Arrow Highway heading toward the 210. Knock on wood, it's still relatively quiet for you drive on the westbound 10 as an alternate to the 210 west, although starting to see some light patchy delays. Show it for you from before Grand as you continue toward the 605. 60 westbound, that's still really quiet for you out of Diamond Bar off the 57 heading toward the 605. So 60 is definitely further south, but will take you a bit more time than you can, at least at the moment. You can also try the local surface streets. Looks like Arrow Highway itself is looking pretty decent to the south of the 210 and to the north of the 210. Foothill Boulevard or Route 66. Actually, it looks pretty decent this morning. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Macaulay O'Keefe.
The holidays bring together friends and family, and this holiday season you can improve your family's everyday wellness with a simple change. Give them the gift of quality water. A Light Source Whole House water system provides filtered, delicious water from every faucet and shower in your home by connecting directly to your plumbing. And if hard water is a nuisance, you can reduce your hard water problems and scale bills up with America's most recommended water system. The Light Source water system filters out chlorine and added chemicals from your water. Your family can drink, cook, and bathe worry-free. And the best part, there's no maintenance of any kind. No filters to change, no salt to add. Simply install and enjoy. And for a very limited time, Light Source water will pay your sales tax. So don't wait. Call to speak with their expert service team. There's no middleman with Light Source water. You get factory direct service and expertise. Call Light Source today and get full service and full confidence in your water. Call 800-334-5009, 800-334-5009, or visit lightsourcewater.com. Light Source Water, taste and feel the difference.
Southern California weather from KFI. Sunny later this morning. Then partly cloudy, highs in the low to mid-50s. Slight chance of rain after midnight with lows in the 30s and 40s. Then rain tomorrow afternoon, highs in the 50s. Rain through Thursday night. Mostly cloudy Friday with a slight chance of rain. And sunny on New Year's Day with highs in the mid-50s to around 60. Right now, Irvine, 48, San Antonio, 50, 51 in Long Beach, 43 in downtown LA. We read local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Chris Little.
We have a lot to celebrate this holiday season, but COVID-19 hasn't gone away. So let's make sure to keep our celebrations safer by following these tips. Get vaccinated to protect loved ones, and get a booster to keep your immunity strong. Wear a mask in all public indoor settings, and if possible, keep gathering small, short, and outdoors if you're uncertain of everyone's vaccination status. Bring on the cheer safely this year. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
With COVID-19 still looming, your holiday season might be more stress than cheer. Cal Hope can help with free emotional support. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Celebrate the new year with a resolution you can easily achieve. Address hair loss and regrow your own natural hair with the same simple one-day treatment that I received from Advanced Hair. Get your free consultation, $250 off, 250 free hair grafts at advancedhair.com.
With COVID-19 still looming, your holiday season might be more stress than cheer. Cal Hope can help with free emotional support. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
As parents, we've done everything we can to keep our kids safe, happy, and healthy during this pandemic. From finding the best face masks to making sure their hands are clean. And now we have the best tool to help keep them even safer. The most important thing we can do is vaccinate our kids to protect them against COVID-19. Vaccines have been proven safe and effective for children 5 and up. Talk to your child doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
There's red, blue, and then there's you. You're a free thinker and believe the best idea should win no matter whose idea that is. The KFI Am 640 will give you all the news you need and a variety of opinions. You make up your own mind. Beholden to no one, live, local, and independent. KFI AM 640 is made for independent thinkers like you. radio app. Jennifer Jones-Lee is on vacation. I'm here filling in for her. Here are some of the stories we're following in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Police have released body cam footage of Thursday's shooting at a Burlington store in North Hollywood, in which a 14-year-old girl was accidentally killed. She was shopping for a dress with her mom. Dr. Anthony Fauci says the United States should consider a vaccination mandate for domestic air travel, and health officials in Orange County blame the COVID-19 Omicron variant for a 30% spike in hospital admissions. And at 5:53, we're going to talk with ABC's Tom Rivers. Negotiators from Iran and 5-year-old powers resumed discussions in the hopes of restoring Tehran's tattered 2015 nuclear deal. Tom will tell us what went on there. But right now, we're going to talk with ABC's Jim Ryan about New Year's resolutions and how long we keep them, and if more people are making them. Hey Jim, a new survey is out, and it says New Year's resolutions aren't kept so much. That sort of makes me feel a little better about my lack of participation in making resolutions. Tell us about the numbers.
Right, the resolutions aren't kept so much because they're not really made in the first place so much anymore, Chris.
Yeah.
Seems that every year fewer people are actually doing this, and a survey done by YouGov America seems to hold that out. Only about 23% of all adults plan on making a New Year's resolution for 2022. 61% say absolutely not. But younger people seem to be more inclined to do so. The under 30 group, 40% of them say they plan to make a resolution. And still, it's not even half.
Right. And that makes me feel good because I don't do New Year's resolutions. I think 20 years ago, 22 years ago, I made a resolution that I would never make another resolution. And I have been able to follow that. And I've never, in those 22 years, have popped in frustration.
Well, that's right. I think a lot of it has to do with frustration. You know, one of the top resolutions has to do with living healthier. So with you at gym number 15, you're out there, and for the first couple of weeks, maybe you're there religiously, and then come February, you're not so much anymore. You're not going to the gym. I think that disappointment kind of wears on people. They say, finally, I'll just try again next year, and they give up on the resolution that they made. Right. In fact, only about 47% of all resolutions, according to a similar survey, are broken within the first month. And every year, fewer people are doing it.
And that makes it, and that's why it's interesting to go to the gym. I used to go to the gym on a regular basis, and you go to gyms on a regular basis and not worry about COVID. And around January, the place was packed, and then, as January wore on, and February came upon us, it just sort of, people went away, and you didn't have to wait for the weight machine, or you didn't have to wait for the treadmill. And, I look forward to that every year, but now, since I don't have resolutions, I don't keep them. Do you have any resolutions?
I'd like to lose a couple of pounds, and it would be a good idea. This living healthier umbrella that a lot of people put their resolutions under, I think would cover that. But losing weight specifically is number 3 on the list. Sure. So, I think that's one that a lot of people try to make. Interestingly, I thought that the number 2 resolution was interesting. Personal improvement or happiness. Right. Which seemed to suggest that people weren't that happy in 2021. In fact, a separate YouGov America survey shows that the majority of U.S. adults think that 2021 was one of the worst years in American history.
Well, that's interesting. The primary reason I hear that people failed to achieve their 2021 resolutions was, of course, loss of motivation. They didn't have a plan. They didn't have the right support. They set too many goals. Or they were overly ambitious, and I used to set overly ambitious goals, and that's why I don't do it anymore.
Well, if you make it something that's reasonable and attainable and measurable, it's hard to measure, but something like your weight or smoking, I don't smoke anymore, I've lost 3 or 4 pounds, those things can be measured in hard numbers, and therefore, that may be a little more reasonable.
Yeah, I read an article by a psychologist who said that pressure to lose weight may be on the forefront of people's minds this time of year, in part because of all of the advertising and special sales from the entire weight loss industry. So I guess that motivates people to say, hey, I'm going to do something. And then they just sort of fall.
It's tough and really difficult. I think that's probably why fewer Americans are actually making those decisions. But
And some other resolutions I've heard about is focusing on financial health, improving health and wellness holistically, and then focusing on self-care and, body positivity. So you said you might want to get a couple of pounds, but maybe you could just be happy with how you look.
that's a tough order right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jim Ryan, thanks very much. I always appreciate talking with you.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
All right, we'll talk later. Health officials in Orange County are blaming the COVID-19 Omicron variant for a 30% spike in hospital admissions, as I told you just a few minutes ago. UC Irvine epidemiologist Andrew Neumer says the case rates, which are just now coming in from Thanksgiving, represent the start of the winter surge.
It's clear the vaccine protects against severe infection. It turns COVID into a cold infection, particularly with the Omicron.
Orange County reports hospital admissions went from 217 on Thursday to 282 yesterday. The number of patients in the ICU went from 58 to 66, and 13 COVID-19 related deaths were reported. Tonight, performance of Hamilton at the Pantages in Hollywood has anybody with tickets will automatically get reimbursed within 30 days. The show is because of COVID-19 cases with the cast. Last week's shows were canceled for Christmas Eve because of COVID-19 cases among the cast. The CDC, we talked about this earlier, has cut its recommended isolation period from 10 days to 5 days for asymptomatic people who test positive for COVID-19. Dr. Anthony Fauci said this will reduce the negative impact of people missing work.
We want to get people back to the jobs, particularly those with essential jobs, to keep our society running smoothly.
The CDC, who received its, the CDC says people who received their booster shot do not need to quarantine if they are exposed to COVID-19, but they should wear a mask for 10 days.
Making progress,
It's tough to be a cop.
Well, Jesus, I'm saying.
We're just seeing this gas cam video. A PhD officer who is now a bullfighter. The officer, some people call it a cow, but it looks like a bull to me. The officer barely evaded an angry bull while on patrol, and the entire town was captured on his dash cam. He was standing on the side of the road, and all of a sudden, out of somewhere, comes this big bull or cow and charges him. Dashes through a snowbank, and the officer gets out of the way just in time. Moves up to the front of his car and kind of looks like he's like, hey, you know what? Anyway, it happened at in Susanville up north. The guy was responding to calls about large farm animals that had escaped their enclosures and wandered onto the highway. Here's one that is very dear to the hearts of Alex and Jennifer. If Jennifer knew of this story, she'd want to report this story. Firefighters had to rescue, we always hear about firefighters rescuing cats and people, but firefighters had to rescue a small dog that somehow ended up on a freeway overpass in El Segundo. This happened yesterday. The dog was on the overpass of the 105 east to the Pacific Coast Highway. I remember yesterday we had some, we had a traffic report about a problem in that area, and then I got got some information about something going on. I think it came over the wires that said it was a jumper, or the jumper may have been the problem. Anyway, photos showed the firefighter on the fire truck ladder grabbing the dog from the side of the overpass, kind of a scruffy looking thing, wet hair, and firefighters did get a few minor bites while bringing the dog safely to the ground. And, you never know what kind of call you're going to go on when the tones go off, according to the fire department. So it's unclear how the dog wound up on the overpass or who it belonged to. But the Kfi News department apparently wants to adopt this dog and have a station pet. The only problem is he's going to walk it, he's going to kick off after it, and I would nominate Alex.
I'm not okay with that. I'll do it.
Okay. We just need to get okay from Jennifer.
Oh, please, like that's going to be a hard thing to ask.
And then on up the line, we'll ask Robin.
I have asked Robin and Neil for a station pet, and they've never once said no, technically.
Oh.
So I think we're fine.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to be good. When we come back, ABC's Tom Rivers is going to join us. Negotiators from Iran and five world powers resume discussions in hopes of restoring Tehran's 2015 nuclear deal. It's been a little torn and tattered. Tom will tell us what went on there. Plus, we've got the traffic and the not quite dry forecast coming up on your wake-up call. But first, out to Glendora. We got a crash cleared on the 210 on this.
That's right, Chris. On the westbound side, it was before Granted. It had the purple and 3 left lanes cut down. That has cleared. You're still seeing the west line coming away from the 57. Keep turning westbound. Now delays you continue as you reduce that. As you make those passes into Avenue into Owendale toward about the 605. Westbound 10 is relative to the 210 westbound. That's still going to be a rough go for you right out of the Covina. From before Citrus, as you make your volume punch over 605. The 60 westbound, that's still looking pretty quiet for you right now. At the 57, at a diamond bar, you make it towards the 605. Ongoing problems for the drive at cleared in the Central area. It's up on side of the 14 with Grand Canyon. In the report from THC, everything's cleared to the right shoulder. Not too long ago, but still pretty heavy overall for the drivers who come away from Albuquerque. Clarifying this guy helps get you there faster. I'm the Kelly team.
Your Reed's Honda Super Tour has your roadmap for super holiday upgrades during Happy Honda Day. Return your Honda Lease to one of our 5 Honda Lease Return Super Centers or swap your old ride for a brand new Honda. And with more vehicles arriving for the holidays, you'll get a super selection and a super experience. Every new Norm Reed's Honda is backed by our exclusive price protection guarantee, which states if you can find the same new Honda for less within 5 days, Norm Reed's will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. Discover the joy of the season and upgrade at Norm Reed's Honda Superstore during Happy Honda Days. Visit our super award-winning Norm Reed's Honda Superstore location in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Vista. Shop online at normreeds.com. As for Global Honda New Vehicle Sales 2020. This report is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion International has a network of over 300 church partners in Haiti, poised to bring critical relief to those suffering because of the recent earthquake. Make your $40 one-time gift now by texting the keyword radio to 97646. This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings. The Clippers couldn't contain James Harden, who went for 39 points as Brooklyn won at Crypto.com Arena by 16 points last night. The Clippers lost 2 straight. The Lakers looked to snap a 5-game losing streak to Houston and Houston. The NBA and the NBA Players Association announced that vaccinated players and coaches that are asymptomatic are now clear on a quarantine in 6 days if the COVID-19 testing data shows they're not infected. I'm Phil Morales. Download the DraftKings app and use code SPORTS to get a free shot and millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. If you own a business and manage to keep 5 or more people on the payroll through the pandemic, there's a new government program that will pay you tens of thousands of dollars per employee. And this is not a loan. This is a grant. The challenge is getting your hands on this money. This is a bureaucracy. InnovationRefunds.com cuts through the red tape, helps you get the cash. They do all of the legwork. They don't charge a penny until you receive the money. And what they do is simply share a percentage of the money they get for you. They got my business a 6-figure refund. Now, their average client gets $250,000. That's impressive. Go to InnovationRefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, answer a few questions. InnovationRefunds.com. It's no risk, and it certainly is high reward. InnovationRefunds.com. They help me. I'm sure they can help you. InnovationRefunds.com.
Cancer. So many lives are touched by cancer. In fact, 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer. At the American Cancer Society, we're on a mission to free the world from cancer. It's a big mission, driven by little things, like a ride to treatment, a free place to stay, a 24/7 helpline. But these little things are really the big things, because to a cancer patient and their families, They're everything. And every day we reach thousands of cancer patients who so desperately need these services. But we need your help to get these critical services to more people and families in need this holiday season. Go to cancer.org and join the fight against cancer. It takes just minutes to donate and help provide essential support to cancer patients and their families. Don't wait. More than 1 in 3 people will be diagnosed with cancer. Go to cancer.org right now and make a difference. Go to cancer.org.
Thanks, Halloween. Or much.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antique. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but Amco to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free. Limited time offer. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See participating centers for full details. AA, MCO.
Have you ever had a nightmare when I was real?
There's a shadow living inside my head. It's angry, and I don't think I can stand it.
Experience the 12-part scripted horror podcast from the team that brought you Lisa Rick and Daughters of DC.
The insomnia has gotten so bad, I'm not sure what's real anymore.
Available to binge now. Journey into your own subconscious and listen to See You in Your Nightmares on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, ultimate once-in-a-lifetime music event, is coming to the CW. The biggest superstars in music finally step back on stage. Featuring Coldplay, Billie Eilish, Dua Lipa, J. Cole, Khalid, Darius Rucker, Dietrich, Journey, and more. iHeartRadio Music Festival. 14 acts, one stage, one television network.
Thursday night at 8 and Saturday morning at 12:30 on TV 5, the CW.
Portions of the following program will be recorded. You know, I always make a joke about cryptocurrency that I liken it to the tulip craze in the 1600s in Holland.
The difference is you actually got a tour.
Or snake oil, right? There's oil. You at least get a bottle of oil.
Bill Handle, mornings from 6 to 10
Here you get nothing.
on KFI.
Yeah, receipts.
KFI, AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Jennifer Jones-Lee is on vacation. I'm Chris Little, sitting in for her. Some of the stories coming out in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The LAPD says a bullet that struck and killed a 14-year-old girl inside a Burlington store in North Hollywood had ricocheted off the floor. Captain Stacey Spell says that round was fired by an officer who had been shooting a man who was severely beating a woman with a heavy-duty cable bicycle lock. Yesterday, the LAPD released a 35-minute critical incident video with 911 calls, store surveillance footage, and officer body cam video. The man in the video was seen attacking 2 women in the store and hitting a 3rd woman with his bike lock. She fell to the ground, and the man dragged her along the floor while continuing to beat her. The video shows a trail of blood along the floor. Moments later, officers arrive.
We have a victim down! Victim down!
Within a few seconds, the officers see the man beating the woman. The man died a short time later. The injured woman was taken to a hospital and later released. Steve Gregory, KFI News. Severe weather sweeping parts of the U.S. has brought frigid temperatures to the Pacific Northwest and heavy snow to mountains in northern California and Nevada. Across western Washington and Oregon, officials and private groups opened emergency centers for people to find refuge and keep warm as forecasters say the extreme cold from an Arctic blast could last until the weekend. Many facilities will be open through the new year. Farther south, blowing snow in the mountains of northern California and Nevada closed key highways with forecasters warning travel in the Sierra Nevada could be difficult for several days.
United States Postal Service. Roberts.
The COVID-19 Omicron variant has fueled a 30% spike in hospital admissions in Orange County as cases from Thanksgiving start to trickle in.
We're at the start of the winter surge. UC Irvine epidemiologist Andrew Neumer says the vaccine may not completely prevent the extremely contagious Omicron variant, but it can reduce severity.
Give me a cold syndrome over, a severe illness that lands me in the hospital ICU on the ventilator any day of the week.
Hospital admissions went from 217 Thursday to 282 yesterday. ICU patients went from 58 to 66.
And 13 COVID-related fatalities were logged, raising November's death toll to 101 and this month's total to 30. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Negotiators from Iran and 5 world powers resumed their discussions in hopes of restoring Tehran's 2015 nuclear deal. ABC's Tom Rivers is with us. Hi, Tom. What's been happening in those discussions?
Yeah, slow progress. They broke off for about 10 days. Consultations at home. They're back in beautiful Vienna. And interesting, the man that is sharing this particular talk, the EU diplomat Enrique Mora, guardedly optimistic. You haven't heard that kind of language before. And it's interesting that the negotiators from Iran are coming forward saying, yes, we want a deal, but we need the ability to sell oil anywhere in the world. That's very, very constrained right now due to the U.S. sanctions. They're saying, you know, let's work on lifting the sanctions, and yeah, you can go back to square one, and we can have the agreement that was all set up 6 years ago.
Yeah, now, at least negotiators from the West are saying this process is moving too slowly.
I think a lot of people would say that. Again, it was the U.S. that really didn't do much when they had a moderate president in until the election, and now they've got a hardline president in Tehran. More work should have been done in the first 6 months of this year. Why that is the case, I guess you'd have to ask somebody in the administration why this is kind of put on the back burner.
Yeah, and as you indicated, Iran is focused on sanctions relief, and it really wants its allies to promise to allow it to export its crude oil. I mean, is that the main sticking point?
Well, right now, yeah. I mean, their economy is really, really in tough shape because of that. As you all know, sanctions are not precise. They're pretty blunt instruments. Yes, it's affecting government in Tehran, but it's also affecting the millions of average citizens in Iran as well. So they're saying, yes, get those sanctions out of the way. Let some of the other players, like France, that wanted to build a car plant in Iran, to do so. In theory, they could, but they would get entangled with breaking U.S. sanctions, and that means courts and fines. So in essence, they're saying, hands off. We're not going to touch that until we can get back and get the U.S. signed up once again to this deal.
Gotcha. But as we all remember, then President Donald Trump pulled us out of the deal in 2018 and reimposed U.S. sanctions. But Iran later pushed beyond those sanctions, you know, the nuclear deal restrictions, and kept pushing, you know, well beyond them. So in these negotiations, do we have to pull back from that level? Are you following me?
Yeah, and Tehran kind of stuck with the protocols that were in place about a year after the U.S. withdrew. And in essence, they used the upping of research into the nuclear field, more centrifuges, processing at a higher degree of purity, simply to get you guys leveraging this attention of the European powers. Otherwise, nothing at all would have happened. The West would have looked at that and said, look, we basically got Iran to do what it wants them to do without a deal. And the sanctions would be, you know, firmly in place. So,
balls around,
to get everybody back to the table, to try to get the deal back, and to get those
balls around,
so they can play ball with the rest of the world.
So would it or would it not be safe to say Iran has been reining in some of its atomic activity?
It hasn't yet, and I would assume, you know, we have had a word about a week ago saying that the cameras that were destroyed in the alleged Israeli strike, those cameras could be replaced for the UN inspectors. So that was one small step, but they're willing, and it's clear they're willing to go back, capture and break everything in the 2015 agreement if we can lift the sanctions and if the U.S. wants to sign on the dotted line again. until we get there, I think that, again, as I say, Iran will be using levers to again say, come on, let's play ball, or, look what we're doing now. So, yeah, that's continue until we finally did happen. Sign up for that deal again.
That'll be interesting to see. All right, ABC's Tom Rivers, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll talk to you some other time. Out to the crazy drive we go after I tell you this. And this is KFI and KOST HD2 Los Angeles from the Southern California Florida Traffic Center. We make it easy. Looks like we've got Jeff Baugh, KFI in the sky.
Good morning, sir. There's always an adventure out here, that's for sure. Yeah, it's funny, I was listening earlier doing that story about the jumper, and that turned out to be a dog.
It did turn out to be a dog?
That's really pretty funny.
I think it did, yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny. But good deal. All right, good morning to you. You're going to the new hall. Thank you. This is 14 South South, but really no big deal. And if you choose to